my name is Dolly Tavares and this is my video. It's for adult volunteers only, and for today's purposes, my volunteer is going to go by an alias, which we're going to call Becca. Hello, Becca.
Hi.
Becca, before we get started, I had you sign off on a consent form.
Yep.
Do you understand the consent form and what you read?
I do. Yes.
Okay, basically it's talking about HEPA, and we won't violate HEPA, we won't put you in a stressful situation, nothing that we do is real, it's all scenario based. If at any time,
I grabbed my water real quick.
yes, at any time you feel uncomfortable or suicidal or violent, we'll stop the video and get you some help. But we do want you to understand that we are not held responsible, the student's not held responsible, and the school's not held responsible for any actions.
Okay.
Okay? So Becca, tell me a little bit about why you're stressed out, why you've come here to see me today.
Well, I've just, I'm going to school full-time, college full-time, and I work full-time, and I have 3 kids at home, which my husband's great, he really does try to help. But I don't know, I'm just stressed out, and I just thought that maybe my family would step up to the plate a little bit more to help, my extended family, because they all live around here. And I don't know, I'm just stressed out and trying to figure things out.
Well, what made you at this point in your life decide to go back to college? What set that goal?
Well, I helped, I have 3 sisters that live real close to me, and I helped every single one of them go back to college because they needed to. They needed to support their family, and I've never really been in that position, but I've always wanted to go back to school. I've always wanted to accomplish this goal, and now my kids are older, they're teenagers, and my husband has a better job that's more relaxed, and he's home more, but it's still stressful. Just working, and I know I chose it, but it's just one of those goals I wanted to accomplish in my life.
It sounds like you have a lot on your plate, and you said your husband really helps out. What about your kids?
Oh, they help out as much as they can. They understand. They understand what's going on. I don't know. I think it's because I'm so busy. I don't ever have time to stop, and I don't ever have time to relax. And I think that, and I feel bad because especially my youngest daughter, I leave her at home all the time by herself because my boys work.
Have you
she's
talked
not
to
old
her?
enough to work.
Have you talked to her and made her, not made her, but helped her to understand what you're doing for her and for your family?
I have, but sometimes I think she's, 13 and just doesn't understand. You know how 13-year-old girls are.
When you do your schoolwork, where do you do it? Do you do it at home or at work?
Some of both. I do it at my office a lot of the times, and then I do it at home as well.
Well, is there any way possible, I don't know how your principal feels, I know that you work at a school.
I do.
Would they allow her to come up and hang out with you, or would she be a distraction to you during your schoolwork?
No, it's not that. And I offer for her to come with me. She just doesn't want to, but
She's at that teenage.
yeah, and I don't know. I just feel like I leave her all the time. And I just thought maybe she has a cousin. My sister has a little girl the same exact age as her, and they go off and do things all summer long. And I just, I took her kids when she was going to school and did. And I just thought she'd step up to the plate a little bit and maybe help with Bailey and take her when they go do fun things.
But you feel like they're kind of dropping the ball a little bit.
I feel like they've abandoned me.
Well, what makes you think that they would not want you to succeed or reach these goals? Have they said that to you?
I don't think that they don't want me to succeed. I just don't think they are willing to put their lives on hold to help me. And I think, I did that. I did that for years for them.
Have you talked to them about this?
No, not really. I don't want there to be hard feelings. I just want to get it done and be done. And
Yeah, but that's a lot for you to take on I use the word very lightly, resentment can build. And if you're not seeing clearly, it can turn into a fight or anger. And I'm just wondering, even if you don't confront them about your feelings, maybe if you sat down and made a list of everything that you did for them and then a list of what they have and have not done for you. Maybe it's not equal, but you might see something you're missing.
Yeah.
And it's always something you can show them later, not in the heat of the moment, but maybe when you guys are just sitting down having family time and saying, look, I need you, I need your help, and this is how I feel.
Yeah, I could do that. I think that's a good idea. I think that I wouldn't show it to him ever, though.
You don't think you would? But it's something you can get out and look back on.
Well, it might be something to give me a little bit of perspective, maybe, you know, and I know that I know that their lives are busy. I do. You know, they work and they have kids too, but I just feel like
What did they go to school for? How long did they go to school?
One of my sisters is a nurse, and she went to school for 2 years, and then she just got busy working. And then one of my other sister that I helped out a lot, she actually works at Wallace College. She's a department head at Wallace College.
Oh, she did it quick.
Not really. I mean, it's Wallace College. It's community college.
Okay, well, we've discussed work. I mean, we've discussed college and how you feel about your family. And is there anyone in the family that you can maybe talk to off to the side?
My mother-in-law helps me out a lot. We live next door to her, and she's really, really great, but that doesn't really help Bailey out, you know?
No, but if she understood your point of view, because she's part of the family, I'm not negating that she's not, but she's on both sides. She's a foot out of the family and a foot in the family.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she could, without confrontation, but a gentle nudge to the rest of the family to get them to maybe help out with Bailey a little bit.
Maybe. I mean, she might be able to do that.
You think so?
I don't know. I don't know if they would or not.
But they might listen to
They
someone else.
tend to do their own thing, and it's okay. And it helps me to come and talk to someone about it, you know, just because it kind of gives me a little bit of perspective. So maybe that's just what I needed. Because, I mean, they're busy too. I mean, they have their own lives too. I'm not saying that they're not busy. I'm just saying I thought they'd take a little bit of responsibility with it.
Well, I think you coming and talking in here is a great step. And I honestly think that if you're close with your mother-in-law, maybe edging into talking to her, and it might make her feel included and closer to you. I think having two support systems would be very beneficial to you.
Yeah.
And tell me about work. Is there any support system at work?
Yeah, my work is really good about helping out and supporting me. I mean, we all have a job to do, so I don't want to burden anybody else by having them do my job. But
No, but sometimes you have to ask for help. You seem very, very structured on doing things yourself and always being excellent, always having an A, never settling for a B, which is good. But that is a lot of pressure
I know.
that you put on yourself. What would happen if you got a B? Let's just say, what would happen? Would you melt down?
No, I wouldn't melt down. No, I would just try harder next time.
But it wouldn't upset you.
I'd be upset, but I wouldn't melt down.
I just think you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's okay to make a mistake every now and then. And I think it's excellent that you strive to be the best that you can be, because so many people don't. And I think that you should sit down and make almost like a schedule. Like, how do you fit in your assignments with work, for example?
I don't do my schoolwork while I'm at work. I do it after work, after working hours.
What, do you come in early? Do you stay late? How do you mesh it?
Some of both. I come in early or I stay late. It just depends on the assignment. And sometimes I do my college work. I just try to hold on to it till Saturday and Sunday. You know, do all the reading at home, and then do the actual assignments on Saturdays and Sundays.
Is there anything you think you can do different to take some of the burden?
Just slow down on the amount of classes that I'm taking, but I don't want to do that either because I'm so close to finishing.
What are you going to do?
Social work.
So tell me about social work. That seems like a lot of pressure too, worrying about other people.
Well, I kind of do that already where I work. You know, I go out to our students' houses, and that's what got me interested in it. And, you know, it helps me to have some perspective, you know, seeing how they live. And I just wanted to be able to help them more, and so I decided to go and learn more about it. And that's something I was interested in. I've
And-
kind of always been interested in it, though.
Well, is the classwork that you're taking, is it helping you towards that goal? Or is it more paperwork?
You know, I have to admit that when I started
Don't you?
when I started going to college, I was like, man, it's a bunch of busy work that I'm having to pay thousands and thousands of dollars for, and you know, it's all common sense, but it isn't that at all. I mean, I really have learned a lot about policy and about, you know, how to rephrase things so that people are more receptive, I guess.
Well, tell me, what is your end goal? What is your ultimate goal that you want to reach above all?
Honestly,
Yes.
there's a position at the school district that I work with, and it's in the homeless department. It's helping our homeless students, students get the resources that they need and the help that they need so that they can thrive at school, because so many of our homeless kids, you know, they just already have one hand tied behind their backs. But if they can get extra support from the school system themselves, you know, their families are doing all they can. You know, if they can get that extra bit of support from the school district, then, you know, they do have the chance to thrive. They do have the ability to thrive. And so there's a job in the district that deals with that, and I would like to do that.
Have you put in feelers and
Well, someone
Worked
would
your
have
way?
to, like, completely retire before I could have that job because there's only one of them. But I could work in that department, and it would,
work your way up?
yeah.
Is that disappointing to you, or do you think you could learn more that way?
No, it's not disappointing to me at all. I would love to work in that department. Like, it's what I want to do.
So what you're telling me, what I hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have a really small but good support system, in that your ultimate goal is to complete college and move up in the, I don't want to say corporate, but it's district,
It's not moving up. It's a lateral move. It's
but where you
just
can help someone.
where I want to be. You know, I just want to be able to, you know, work really closely with that department. It's just something I'm passionate about, I guess. You know, I want the kids that I work with to have all the opportunities that my own kids had, you know, growing up, or still have growing up, and so many of them don't. And you know, I started this job at one of the schools, and it, you know, it's really kind of given me an education, I guess.
Well, do you have any support system where you work? How are you with your supervisor and your coworkers? Do they help you, or can they help you? Or...
I do. I get along really well with everyone I work with. I'm just not going to burden someone else with my stuff. I'm just
Well,
not
I'm
going
sure
to do
they
that.
burden you.
I don't think so.
You don't feel like it's a burden?
No,
You just like helping people.
I do.
That's a really good outlook and way to be. What do you do outside of work and school to take a breather?
Well, I try to spend time with my family because I don't get to spend a ton of time with them now that I'm working and going to school. And, you know, we're very religious, so we do go to church together on Sundays, and we live our religion, and we like to go outside, and we like to be on the boat and go canoeing and
Oh, boating sounds
fishing
very
and
relaxing.
hunting, and I mean, we like to be together, and we like to go camping, and so I do try to take time to do that, you know, as much as I can.
Now you have 3 boys. Do they go with you?
I have 2 boys
You
and
have
a
2
girl.
boys and a girl.
Of course, they always go with us.
That's right. Bailey's the girl.
Yep.
They always go. They're not at that age where they don't wanna.
Oh no.
They're
I mean,
outdoorsy.
even my 17-year-old is like, let's go.
Well, it sounds like you have a really good structure, and you're coping very well. I can see where you're overloaded And I'd like to see ways to bring that stress down, even if it's coming back and talking to me or talking to your mother-in-law.
I think it does help to talk to someone. I think it puts things into perspective. You know, it's like I was just sitting here thinking about all of the college work that I've done versus what I've got to do, and I mean, I have 2 terms left, and that is it.
Well, if you break it down, if it's anything like the college I'm going to, you have internships and practicums?
I have the practicum at the very end. I don't have internships, just practicum.
So how many classes, like, you only have so many classes and then like your internship or practicum, so you do get a little break, right?
I only have 2 classes left to take, and then my practicum.
Are you doing your practicum where you work?
I'd like to, but I don't know if the college is going to let me. That's causing me a little bit of stress right now.
I imagine it is, because I don't think with the way you've described to me, I don't think work can do without you.
They could.
No, this place would burn down, I think, without you.
I don't think that's true.
How does it make you feel to be needed, though?
I mean, I guess it's fine.
It's
I'm
just
okay not
fine.
being needed to. Is that terrible?
No, that's a very good outlook. It's very healthy, honestly. Tell me about, you said you're religious. Tell me what your church does. What do you do?
Well, it's a global church, and you know we're just very big on our doctrine, and we very family oriented religion. So, you know, I just I feel like it's important. You know, I'm trying to help my son set some goals and make some goals right now, and one of his goals is to serve a mission for our church. And when they're 18, they go for 2 years, and
Where's the mission?
we don't
Just
know
wherever.
wherever they send him.
Is he excited about that?
He is. I mean, my mama heart's not, but he is.
That was my next question. How does Mama feel? Is that some added stress?
I think it's good for them. Every one of them that I've ever seen go come back and they're accomplished and they move on with their life. It's kind of like they have structured freedom. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So
Now they do mission work with the children. My mouth is dry. They do mission work with the children. What about the adults? Do y'all ever?
yeah, they work with the adults. I mean, they're gone. They go. I mean, he could very well end up going overseas or.
What about you? Do you ever take off and volunteer? Or?
I volunteer for the church, but not. I volunteer a lot with Iron Man Foundation, and I volunteer during hurricane season and natural disaster season around here. I volunteer with crisis cleanup. I travel with them a little bit.
So you see a lot of destruction and decimated families.
Yeah.
That's a lot of added stress too.
Yeah, but
What
I kind
do
of
you
like
do?
that.
What do you do to cope with what you see at the moment? I understand that you like helping, and that is your anchor. But at the moment that you walk up and this mama is holding her baby and she has no home, how do you cope with that? How do you?
I go into, well, they have a name for it. They call it Becca mode. I go into Becca mode and I just start chipping away at one problem, and once that one's done, then we chip away at another
Till
one
you find a way to help.
until we are helping her. And I mean,
I wish there were more people like you. It just seems so. It seems odd that you're here talking to me with stress when you have so many different ways of coping with it.
but talking to people about your stress puts it into perspective.
Have you
helps.
reached some perspective talking?
It does. It helps you gain a perspective of maybe some things that you could do better to change. And you know, it's like you said with Bailey. Maybe I just need to sit down and talk to her and make sure that she understands what's going on and why I'm gone a lot. You know, it does. It helps put things into perspective.
One thing you can help her to understand, and also for you, is everything is temporary.
Yeah,
Nothing's permanent.
that's true.
And when you explain to her that when this is done, your lives are going to be so much better,
Yeah.
it might help her to understand. And plus, she can get an idea of what she's looking forward at the future for herself.
Yeah, she can see how hard I'm working, and you know, maybe not want to do it at my age. I wish I'd have done it a lot sooner, but I wanted to stay home with my babies too. So
I agree. Well, I tell tell you what, I would really like for you to reach out to your mother-in-law, and you don't have to force yourself on her, just gently probe and try to open that barrier of how you feel and make that list. And I would like for you to come back in a week and tell me what's changed, what hasn't changed, how did it make you feel? Is it uncomfortable, or is it something you think you can implement?
Okay, I can do that.
Well, Becca, it's been great having you, and I will look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.